As I sit here and I bash most members of Congress, John Thune is a total loser. James Comer, more action, less talking. I'd like to just at least point out the bright spots in all of this. I don't want you guys to be totally black-pilled. While we are talking about whether or not Somalians who committed unprecedented amounts of fraud will ever actually be held accountable, there is a warrior in Congress taking action to prevent more of it from happening. My Congressman Brandon Gill, who is introducing legislation that would ban Somalis migrating to the United States, at all. It's just, no, thank you. We're going to have a moratorium on that. 25-year moratorium on immigration from Somalia. And that's that. We don't like pirates. We don't need more pirates. We already have enough of them. And we just don't need you here. By the way, I do realize a lot of people are actually forever. Okay, well, they have the ability to do that in 25 years. But can we just agree that 25 years is a great start? Okay. Now, Brandon has been so great about trying to warn of this issue and one of the other issues that this dovetails into, which I'll get to in a moment. But he's been talking for a while, regardless of the insults that people throw his way for daring speak the truth. He has been warning for a while about, number one, the fact that they refuse to assimilate, which you cannot have a cohesive country when you are importing a bunch of immigrants from a third world country who refuse to assimilate to your first world values. That can't happen. You can't have that. That's not a country that you want, because that's not a country that functions. Okay. He's also been warning about the abuse of our welfare benefits, because as it turns out, you guys are going to be shocked to hear this. As it turns out, when you import people from the third world who have absolutely no marketable skills, no education, they don't know how to do anything that pays good money or contributes to our economy, all they do is siphon out more of your taxpayer dollars by way of welfare benefits.
Let me ask you, does large-scale Somali immigration make Minnesota stronger or weaker?
Certainly stronger.
Certainly stronger. Do you know what percentage of Somali-headed households in Minnesota are on food stamps?
No.
54%. Do you know what that number is for native Minnesota-headed households?
Well, to be clear, a majority of the...
It's 7%. There's a big difference between 54% and 7%, is there not?
Excuse me, sir, could I answer the question?
Let me move on. We've got a lot of questions here. What percentage of Somali-headed households in Minnesota are on Medicaid?
I don't know.
It's 73%. Do you know what that number is for Minnesota native households?
Again, you're using the phrase Minnesota native households.
Correct.
The majority,
the number is 18%. That's quite an astounding difference. I think we would agree.
Can I answer the question, please?
You're not answering.
You one more, and then we can go on to that. What percentage of Somali-headed households are on welfare in general?
I don't know.
It's 81%. What about, let me just ask you, after 10 years of being in the United States, what percentage of Somali immigrant households continue to be on welfare?
I don't know.
The number is 78%.
Boy, that guy doesn't know a lot, but he does know to be offended by Brandon saying Somalian head of households versus Minnesota natives. He knows to be offended about that, but he doesn't actually know the statistics that he is there to argue. They are a drain on our economy and our society. They are contributing nothing. Somalians are contributing nothing to our society except fraud and abuse and siphoning off your taxpayer dollars. And I don't recall voting to bring a bunch of third worlders into my country to use my tax dollars to go out there and create fake daycares and siphon in the millions. I didn't actually vote for that. I don't think you did either. So why should we continue to allow this? It would be different, by the way. I love when people accuse me of just saying this because they don't like the color of their skin. I don't care if you are black, if you are brown, if you are white, if you are purple. I don't care what color you are. If you are coming here and you're not contributing and you're actually taking way more than you are putting into this country, you shouldn't be here. That is national suicide. That's stupid. That is a dumb immigration policy, and it should stop. By the way, like, it's the Somalis who admit that they were taught by their own community to abuse government benefits.
Interestingly enough, even though I spoke very good English, one of the things that I was told to do is go find a discounted housing section 8, which I didn't know what actually it was, and sign up for all the other community benefits within the government or the state. I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for a pushback against this idea of sort of melting into America, becoming part of America. And
right.
Let's just be very clear that I haven't arrived here as a young man. I mean, I came here at age 29, so I was well informed about my culture and my community growing up in the civil war in Somalia.
Incredibly, you're telling me you not only were discouraged from integrating into America, but you were also encouraged to stick to your tribal allegiances from back in Somalia, and those tribal allegiances and divisions remain here in America.
Guys, like, what are we doing? By the way, that's not the only community who teaches each other to commit fraud. Anyone care to guess which one it is? Let me tell you, they're coming here on visas like H-1Bs and H-4s and H-2. I mean, my inbox is flooded from a bunch of people within the Indian community that are like, yeah, please email me, sarahtips@blazemedia.com with any tips on this. Within the Indian community, and they're like, they make all of us look bad. If there is an overwhelming abuse of the system from one particular region on the map, we should not be afraid to just shut that down. We don't owe it to any outside region, any outside person. I don't care what country they're from. If they don't have marketable skills that they are contributing to this economy to make this economy better and strengthen this country, what the hell is the point of having them here? Let me give you one last clip here from Representative Gill talking about the other part of that puzzle, which is not only are you importing people who are a drain on our economy, who are a drain on our welfare system, who are taking more than they're giving in this country, they also happen to all be Islamic. And guys, it's time to sound the alarms on that too.
Why are we seeing terrorist attacks from radical Islam within our own borders? Where did this come from? Islam is largely alien to American history. It certainly didn't come into the United States on the Mayflower. It's something that we deliberately imported as a matter of immigration policy into our country. And it's going to destroy us just like it's destroying Europe right now. It's our job to stand up to that, to stand up for our values and to prohibit alien cultures and alien ideologies that do not comport with our own government governing framework. And that's why I'm proud to be part of the Sharia Free America Caucus.
Man, next time I am in DC, I want to go by all of those. I want to go by and personally shake the hands of all of the Sharia Free Caucus members, because there's going to be a lot of hate thrown their way, and they are doing God's work over there.